The Empty Hand started his life out as a sentient comic book series that went by the name Ultra Comics, first appearing in 2014's The Multiversity. The author has mentioned here that Ultra is from our world, which according to DC Comics goes by the alias of Earth-33. Ultra is you. He is the comic book reader. The beings who hold the comic in your hands. He seems to have an awareness of who holds his continuum, even before he gets corrupted by all of us. Truly, his downfall is our fault. He begged us not to turn the page and read on, but we did it anyway. And each time we ignore him, we harm him even more. Eventually, we harmed him so much that he succumbed to his alter ego, which is known as the Empty Hand. We later find out that the monitors of Nil from the 2008 series Final Crisis had given the multiverse a gift before they self-deleted their entire race. These monitors had felt that they failed in their civic duties, and as a gesture of goodwill, designed a guidebook for the multiverse to use as a weapon for the biggest looming threat in the future history of the entire DC multiverse. Its name? The Empty Hand. The entire Multiversity comic book's context is that monitors wrote it all and sent it into the fictions of Earth-33 to be used as a guidebook on how to defeat the Empty Hand and the Gentry when they arrived. What about the powers of the Empty Hand? Well, we found out more than once from the author that he is the concept of the next stronger villain. It seems that all villains are really his avatars, and that includes the Anti-Monitor, the son of Perpetua, the new god Darkseid and all of his minions of doom, even Perpetua, the mother of the multiverse, who had been sent by the Source to craft all of DC creation itself. Truly, nearly all the villains are underlings of this Hand of the Reader. The only two villains I'm aware of in all of DC Comics that are not linked to him would be Monitor Rox Ogama and his big brother Mandrake. And the reason for these two not being avatars of the Empty Hand is because they are both part of the race of monitors who considered the Empty Hand a looming threat that their guidebook can handle if followed properly by the heroes. Further, the Empty Hand is clearly cited as originating from a location outside of the entire DC multiverse, which again, we know as a place called Earth-33, which is the crux responsible for the destruction of what was known as Multiverse 2. Back in 2014, we comics fans had no clue what this was a reference to. Multiverse 2? What in the overvoid is that? Where is that? What's the context here? We never really received any further data on this until after I completed this short video, which was rendered out on September 9th, 2021. While in the process of rendering out this video to finalize it, issue 6 of Infinite Frontier was released, and of course, in it, the Empty Hand was name-dropped, and we received a little bit more context on what Multiverse 2 was. Apparently, Multiverse 2 was what the Anti-Monitor had destroyed way back in Crisis on Infinite Earths. That entire multiverse had been reset, and now it seems we have some answers on what actually happens when multiverses go dark. But I found it interesting that while producing this video for everyone, the Empty Hand couldn't handle not being a major part of it. He demanded his current status be known. And who am I to say no? After all, I am the Empty Hand, and so are you. So are all the readers who hold comic books in their hands. The hands that turn the page, you will forever be linked to Ultra, and Ultra will forever be linked to you. And to see and hear that the DC Comics writers are going to use him in this new series coming out in 2022, well, that makes me both happy and sad. I fear he's going to be rewritten, and I believe that we fans have had enough of the most badass characters in DC constantly getting nerfed and dimmed down. But don't worry, the original Empty Hand will always exist in the pages of the Multiversity. Even if the new series gifts him a rewrite, part of the original will live on inside of your mind forevermore.
That's not fair. That's not fair at all. There was time now. There was all the time I needed. That's not fair. That's not fair.